What's going on, guys? Well, watch us back again with another live stream for you now. Match review straight after the game with Chelsea have got the vital away goal 1-1 against Frankfurt. I'm joined here by some special guys. Got Jan, Jimmy, and Christian. I'm gonna let one of you lot take over now. Who's gonna take over first?
Yo, me, I'm jumping straight in. Right.
Jesus.
I tell you what, man. How the fuck did we not win that game? I feel like, especially in the second half, we came out swinging. Some great football. A little bit unlucky, I think. Especially David Luiz not scoring that free kick, but some great combinations. Ruben Loftus-Cheek absolutely balling throughout, I think. Hazard a little bit disappointing when he came on, but I just didn't get into the game. He didn't start. He was sort of a little bit, absent. But vital away goal. Shame we didn't win the game, but leaving me confident for the return leg. That's what I'm saying.
Jan, I totally agree with you, but I just want to say something. When you introduce yourself, you got to plug your channel and say who you are and not go straight into it, man.
Okay, well, yeah. Hi, my name's Yannick. I've got a podcast that I've had all these guys on. Oh, actually, I've been on a Christian's podcast, Yannick on Chelsea. YouTube channel, Jan the Stat Man. Bit of a football nerd, into some stats, and when it comes back round to me, I'll drop some stats on you boys from the game.
Perfect. Go on, who's next, man? Jimmy, tell me.
Well, yeah, I can agree with Jan about that. Jesus Christ, I mean, we should have won, but what really pissed me off, all those flicks, the constant flicks, always flicking. We're trying to score a goal and they're just flicking on to no one. That was so wasteful at times. That really did annoy me. But that was a strong Frankfurt time. I mean, we have to say credit where credit's due. They really were good. If you compare where they were a few years ago, phenomenal performance. And they've got some real gems. I think Luka Jovic, he showed why we should be in for him in the summer.
Sure.
And yeah, no, I think Ruben Loftus-Cheek, he was my man of the match. I just tweeted that out. The guy was absolutely impeccable. I mean, that guy bulldozes through midfields. It doesn't matter who. He'll just brush him aside.
I wish he scored.
His finishing would have been a bit more on point.
Yeah.
We would have won. But
got the assist, though.
Huh?
Yeah.
So he got the assist.
Yeah, he did. Yes,
for sure.
Yeah.
Christian.
Is he having a stroke?
I'll go over.
What's going on, everybody? I'm gonna have to watch the match again.
All right, go do that and come back. Tell us what you think.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch the match again. I was at work and I was watching. I would watch a few minutes and I had to step away, watch a few minutes, step away. But what I did see is I definitely walked away with the feeling that we definitely should have won the match. 100% we should have won the match. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, I've been saying it forever. That man can play. He's not a youngster. I get pissed off when I hear, oh, he's a youngster. Our youngsters. That's a grown man. That is a grown man. And the way he plays, he's a grown man. That man could have been an athlete. He's 100% athlete. He could have been a professional in any sport of his choosing. That dude's a straight baller. And I got, man, it's just so frustrating we didn't win. Yeah. But I'm confident on the return leg.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I want to pick out some players. Obviously, we've been talking about Loftus-Cheek already. I want to talk about Jorginho. For me, his defensive work, I don't know, whether after he got that head injury thing, he just went into a different player. Like, this guy just stepped up. And I hope he just continues that because a lot of fans are against him in it. So hopefully, what did you lot think of his performance today?
Yeah, statistically, he did pretty well, having a little ganders now. Like you say, I think he maybe dropped off after the injury, but he won possession back quite a lot. He won 5 duels, which was pretty good, more than Luiz. 100% of his clearances completed, interceptions. He got stuck in. Like you said, Sadiq, just to pick up quickly, Loftus-Cheek completed 9 dribbles in that game, which was the next highest was 3. And he won 11 duels, and the next highest was 7. So he was very much the man of the match. But if you want it worldwide, Chelsea, I'll give you a bit of context of the game stats, just so that the viewers can really get a grasp of what's going on. So we had over 67% possession. We had 16 shots to their 6, but we only had 5 on target to their 2. We completed just shy of 500 passes, and they completed 192. Bearing in mind, Frankfurt are no mugs, and we're in their backyard. We got 11 corners to their 4, and they committed 16 fouls to our 9. So it was complete domination, and it was fine margins for us not getting the winning goal in Germany.
Definitely. Jimmy, talk to me, man.
I want to put the question out to you guys because one of the play. I mean, there was no player where I say he was absolutely dreadful. William wasn't necessarily on point. I think he was still struggling with that injury from the other day. But Mateo Kovacic, when he came on, did he actually once hold on to the ball?
He went off the pitch.
He was dying.
Both him and Hazard were disappointing.
I mean, yes, that's true. But Eden Hazard can, afford to be a bit dodgy the one or the other game. But Mateo Kovacic, this is downward spiral. And I mean, I know it was only 10 minutes, a bit more maybe. But I'd like to know from Statman Jan how many times he actually conceded possession, because that was so sloppy. And it just seemed as if he was, still on the bench. His mind was elsewhere, which could be the point that maybe he already knows he's not going to stay.
Just quickly, for copyright reasons, I'm Jan the Statman and not Statman Jan. Dave's coming after me.
Sorry, Statman.
Yeah, so just to answer your question there, Jimmy, he only lost possession twice when he came on. Hazard lost possession 6 times when he came on, but he was pretty absent. Looking at the rest of Kovacic's numbers, he was a passenger. So I get what you're saying. I felt like the last time out, Kovacic, I think he played well, but wasn't effective offensively. I think he's a victim of circumstance, Kovacic. I really rate him highly generally. But yeah, you're right. In this game, he just didn't. He was a pointless sub, wasn't he, in this game?
Could have left Ruben Loftus-Cheek on. Don't you agree, Christian?
I'm always for more Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Yeah, you could. I don't know. I mean, the thing with Kovacic, he's starting to remind me of John Obi Mikel in the sense that, like, he doesn't score. He comes in at the end. It's like, but I kept asking myself this question. Like, I know John Obi is a club legend. I mean, I use the word legend loosely.
No, I love that.
But you know what I mean? Like he's up there. He's up there, right? There is definitely a room. There's room on any squad for a guy to come in to be the full-time, the human embodiment of the full-time whistle. There's room for that, but
nice.
I don't know. Like in a game that we should be winning, it's like, damn, man, like Ruben Loftus-Cheek always, like, he's always provides that goal threat, and then you bring him off for a guy that doesn't provide us a goal threat. I don't know. It's always frustrating. His substitution always frustrates me when we need a goal. Always.
Yeah. Do you think Higuain should be put on a lot earlier? Because I thought Giroud, he didn't step up for me tonight, man.
Higuain didn't come on, did he?
Did he come on?
I don't think he did. Did he?
That's what I'm saying.
No, I don't know. I don't think Higuain would have done shit if he came on. I feel like.
Do we have strikers? Let me ask you a question. Do we have somebody that when they come in occupies the striker position, the number 9 position?
Marcus Alonso. Alonso, mate.
Oh yeah, that guy. No wonder he's so shit at left back. He's playing out of position.
I feel like in that game, Barkley was warming up. Just fucking throw Barkley. If Loftus-Cheek's coming off and he played really well and you want to make sure he's good for Sunday, fine. But Barkley, just throw Barkley on, man. Get him take some pops from long shots. But he might not be a worldie, he might be out of form, but he'll be chomping at the bit to get out there. Why not just put Barkley on and then bang something?
Yeah, I agree with that, man. I agree with that.
So that's my thoughts on Barkley. But yeah, I don't. Just to pick up on the striker,
yeah,
might as well talk about Giroud for a little bit while we're on it. Yeah, I think Higuain at the best of times needs to settle into games, and putting him onto that would have just been a pointless pointless exercise. But with Giroud, I feel like a couple of bits. Like when there was that chance when he took it down on his chest, he spun and shot, and he did win a corner, even though the defender was right on him. But I feel like that would have been on target. That would have been good. He did do a few good. When he is on the ball and he is trying to execute patterns of play or shots, he is good. But it was just too few and far between in this game, considering how much possession we got and how much play we did play in the final third. I feel like because of that, Giroud didn't really play well enough for me, even though also I don't say well enough because when he was on the ball, he was good. I just don't feel like he was in the game enough. So
Yeah.
I don't know if one of you guys want to give me your thoughts on Giroud in this game or in this, because he's top scorer in the competition. You know, he was shredding up this competition. You'd back him to score in this game, but I don't know, man. Like, just quickly while I'm on this sort of Giroud rant, he got 20 passes, which, as you'd expect, is the lowest at the striker. But yeah, he really didn't. Statistically, he didn't do that much in the game, and although he looks like he can do something when he's on it, I just don't think they got him in the game enough.
No, but he couldn't connect the play either. You know, normally that's one of his virtues. That even if he's not scoring, he can connect play. He works well with Hazard.
Well, Jimmy, do you reckon if Hazard started, Giroud would have been better?
I don't know, but the thing is, he's nevertheless should be linking up play better than he did, even if Hazard,
Doesn't play a lot, yeah.
Not, and I mean, William wasn't, on his game today, but
when is he ever?
Well,
mate, let's not turn into that.
Different point entirely. Normally, I'd criticise William, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt today because that was a horrid tackle against. Who was that? Can't remember.
Rocco United. When you talking about last game out?
United, but I can't remember who tackled him anymore.
Bro.
Yeah.
His name says what he should have gotten. He should have gotten a red.
He looks like a lesbian. Him and Firmino should be lesbian lovers.
Oh yeah, man.
Come on, let's
just to get back away from sexuality. I thought Giroud was poor pretty much. He did show some good scenes, but I don't think Higuain would have done more. So he's the striker. I thought that bloke on the other side was pretty good, so might as well try and get him. I mean, what about
what's a finish?
Sadiq, what did you actually think about the goal that we conceded? Because I thought that was really poor defending. Once again, it epitomised our shite defence lapses recently.
You know what? I'll be honest, yeah. I kind of wanted to concede because I feel we do better when we go behind. You know what I'm saying? It's just
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah,
I don't expect anything. I think Christensen in the first half was shocking, but in the second half he improved massively.
I agree. Yeah. I agree.
I know exactly what just to piggyback off of Sadiq's point. I see it all. Like, there's times where you can see the boys just like they kind of need like a kick in the ass.
Yeah, that's it.
And it's just like sometimes like, okay, a goal. Let's hope we concede one, and that is the kick in the ass. It bites. Yeah. It doesn't always work out.
Yeah.
Don't you think, Christian? Don't you think? I agree with you. I mean, sadly, it shouldn't have to be that way.
Exactly.
I agree, but it's better than that kick in the arse comes early doors and not in the 80th, 0-0 to the 85th minute, and then they score, and then we're fucked basically. But on that, I know maybe it was poor defending. I haven't looked at the passage of play well enough, but that ball floated into Jovic. It didn't have much sting on it, but he put some whip on it at the far post. That was a naughty header, mate. Like that was a really, really great goal. And although he was sort of cut out the game a little bit in the second half, Luka Jovic, but from that goal and some passages of play afterwards, like I've looked at him a little bit because we've been linked with him or whatever. But then I was doing a bit of research on him and looking at his numbers, and I was like, yeah, that's really, really good. And I didn't know he's so young. He's 21.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you guys. Someone just donated $4.99 on the comments. Yeah, they said just checking if super chat works. Get yourself some KFC and 50p goes to the rest of the guys.
Definitely.
There you go.
That's real love, man. NK, that's real love. Honestly, I appreciate that, man. Sorry to cut you off, Jan. Carry on, man.
No, I'm done, man. Subscribe to Jan the Stat Man who's ever watching. That's it. All I'm saying is, man, like Luka Jovic, he looks like a player, industrious, running, and when we've been stuck, no matter how good Giroud is at what he does, and no matter how much of a illustrious career Higuain's have, and how much he can still bang worldies, because he can. When you watch our strikers run, it's like a fucking glacial drip, man. And then you watch like this kid on the other side of the pitch, and he's just all over the gaff. And then when he does get a chance, he just glances this lovely goal, and you think, I'd love a bit of that. Do you know what I mean?
But that's all you need. You need that one chance to show why you're world class. If you make stuff like that happen, which shows why he'll be a top striker and he has come.
And we've always had a little bit of luck. What was it? The last time we had a striker on this team that was actually worth a goddamn was Diego Costa. And didn't he burn our ass in a European competition the summer before we bought him?
Maybe, yeah.
Well,
it was what, the 13-14 season?
Yeah, but Falcao really, put
Falcao finished
one, and then he came to us. Doesn't always work out.
That's what good managers do, though. Guardiola, when he played against Monaco and they did bits against them in the Champions League, he had a little eye on Bernardo Silva, and when that kid looks fucking good, you know what? I'll just buy him next season.
And
the same thing with William. Bro, wasn't it like William was kicking our ass in Champions League it felt like forever. And then it was like finally the board was like, all right, enough is enough, and we bought him. Right after the last time he was kicking our ass.
Well, enough was enough when he was floating his way up to North London.
Yeah, he hates Tottenham.
Yeah, he hates Tottenham apparently.
Well, that should be the first question. The first question when we're looking at a player is, do you or do you not hate Tottenham?
Sadiq, you're the like I guess you're leading this stream, man. So can we talk about United, or is this just a Frankfurt review? Sorry, not United, a Watford.
We can, but I do want to take some questions from the comments.
Do that, man. Do that. I was just basically going to say from who played today. Do you reckon anyone should carry over? But we can dissect this game if you want, whatever.
Guys, before we get into Jan's what he wants to speak about, please do ask your comments for questions. Sorry, for any of us. We'll wait for a couple of seconds to see if anyone has any questions. I'd really appreciate some questions. So we'll wait for like 10 seconds. I think the stream's a bit behind with comments for a bit. But
no one wants to talk to us, man.
In the meantime, are you guys confident on the weekend?
I'm going, mate, so I hope so. It's the last.
Are you going? Listen. Meet me up. Let's go to the stadium, see the show.
Yeah, I'm going down a pub before to pick up my ticket and stuff, but I'll link you, man, defo. Maybe afterwards, actually.
Yeah, cool. What time? I'll be there.
Yeah.
Oh, Christian, man.
Bro, that Eden Hazard's last game of the bridge, or in the Premier League.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm going. I got tickets for free, man. I have to go. Yeah. But I will answer the first question here. How badly do we miss HUDSON-ODOI?
Why?
I don't know.
Oh yeah,
that's a good question. I mean, obviously dynamism and directness and general just chomping at the bit to play well for Chelsea. But I don't know, Pedro scored the goal in this game and it was very good. He had loads of chances. I thought Pedro actually played very well in this game. Hazard eventually came on the left. Obviously, it would have been another option. Maybe he could have got an assist into Giroud from the right wing. That was probably for this game, that would probably be the biggest factor because he's got a good cross with his right foot from the right wing and Giroud was a bit starved. Maybe he could have brought that element to this game. But I don't know. I feel like this game away at Frankfurt, you needed that sort of canny maturity in the game. But maybe it would have been good. I mean, it wasn't like a gaping hole for me.
Well, don't you think he would have given us width and we didn't have any? They were cutting inside every time and that didn't work most of the times because they just figured that out.
And he might have taken it to the byline more and come in. That's probably a valid point.
The byline.
Yes, sir.
Oh.
I think if we had would have had Hudson-ODOI, that I think that would have been great because that we would have profited from that, and specifically Giroud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christian.
Talk
And
to me.
Well,
that's
sorry.
thing also against United. So
For sure. For sure. Christian,
Talk to me.
What you saying?
Your thoughts, man.
Did we
Oh,
miss Callum Hudson-ODOI? Yeah, of course. I say of course, meaning that it would have provided something else. Maybe he would have, because we had Callum Hudson-ODOI, Sarri would have said something else. Yeah, it was like he's one of our better players. Like of course I would have loved to have him. But Yan said it, like, was it a gaping hole on the field?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm of the opinion of the more better players we have on our bench, on the field at one time, the better we are. I prefer that. So, but in actuality, did we really miss him? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
For sure. We'll move on to the next question. So we've got Noah Warners. Should Pepe replace Hazard and Pulisic right wing? I'm sure it would be the other way, no? Pulisic on the left, Nicholas Pepe on the right.
No, he's right. Pepe on the left, Pulisic on the right.
Why not Pepe on the right?
Because doesn't he play on the left?
no,
his left foot is kind of on the right, no?
Go on, Jimmy. Does he play on the left or right?
He's on the left. Everything I've seen from him is on the left.
Pepe.
Yeah.
Pepe.
Always on the left.
I mean, during the game, he's been switching a bit, but generally he starts on the right.
Well, I'll tell you what.
He starts on the right.
Well, I'll tell you, okay, fine, all right. Well, fair enough. But the thing is, Pulisic switches over. I mean, look at Sarri. I mean, if Sarri stays here, look at what our wingers do. They're constantly switching anyway. And the fact how I think the necessity for Chelsea at the moment with this style of play is that wingers can rotate. And I guess the Premier League, if you look at all top tier teams in the Premier League, wingers have to be able to fuck about with the defenders and drag them wide and switch. So we know Pulisic can do that, and by all accounts, Pepe can do that. But the answer to that would be absolutely yes. We should buy him because he wants to play for Chelsea. He's not too young. He's quite seasoned. He's just got it in his head that he scores goals and assists goals. He's a technical winger from Lille. And it's just like the prophecy, innit, man? One winger leaves from Lille, the other one joins, both high scoring. I mean, look, who else do you know at the minute? I feel like it's a really good option.
Did we already lose the winger from Lille already? Is that like done deal? I still have hope. I mean, should I just get rid of it, like the hope?
Get rid of the hope, and if he stays, you'll be stoked.
I mean, I literally just set up to get an Eden Hazard Chelsea Player of the Year 2020 tattoo. Like,
why not?
I already put my deposit. Like, should I
just say something?
What's up?
You know, I was listening to a podcast. I think it was Football Daily 5 Live, and Pat Nevin always talks on there. And was it the Football Daily? Anyway, I was listening to a fucking football podcast that Pat Nevin was on, and he was talking about he was speaking to someone at the club who he wouldn't name. But he said, well, we're going to have to struggle about Hazard. And they didn't tell him directly, but they gave him a look and they went, you think? Like that, as in like Hazard's leaving. So suddenly Pat Nevin was making all these noises saying, oh, I think there's a chance he might actually be staying. And if you look at, I don't want to give hope to any viewers here, but if you look at the tangible facts about Real Madrid being pretty pony still, pretty shit, they need a rebuild. They should probably be buying players like Christian Eriksen and maybe a striker and maybe a fullback. Do you know what I mean? They should be looking at those when they've got creative wide forwards. And if they just want Hazard because Hazard's a Galactico and he's going to be available for cheap. But if they really want to invest their money properly and Chelsea hold firm for 100 mil, there's a chance we'll keep him. And Pat Nevin seems to think so, but I don't want to entertain any hope to any viewers. So that's all I'm saying.
I tweeted out an article that dude from the Telegraph, the head writer from the Telegraph wrote, and he made a convincing argument about Pogba and Hazard that seemed to suggest that Real Madrid doesn't have unlimited amount of funds available to them.
Yeah, they don't.
they have somewhere in the range of 300, 350, somewhere around there. Plus, they got to do a new stadium. So the article seems to give a little bit of hope that, for them to pull off this rebuild, it's 2 guys enough. I mean, they got to move Gareth Bale, and I mean, what are they're going to loan Gareth Bale because nobody's going to outright buy a 30-year-old winger that's always hurt. But
they want to get the wages off the books, don't they?
Yeah, so but who's gonna pay 16 million? If I was Gareth Bale, I'd be like, I don't care, like as long as you're sending me 16 million and you're not sending me to who knows where, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna be so easy to leave Real Madrid. So
no, why the fuck should he? He's been I think he's got a hard ride, to be honest, Gareth Bale. But on that, Christian, it's funny because Florentino Perez, they've committed to a stadium upgrade now at the Bernabeu, and it's part of that. I think apparently it's something to do with the Perez's ego, with everyone saying Spurs have got the best stadium in Europe or whatever, and he came out all defensive about it. Anyway, so they've made commitments to an expansion and an upgrade of the Bernabeu, which is going to be expensive. And the fact of the matter is, left wing isn't a priority position for Real Madrid. And if you look at Hazard's perspective, even though he does want to go, it's not a golden era there, and there are problems. So he could see the attraction and how much joy it would bring to stay. But I still think, regardless, there's like an 80% chance he's going.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, you know what? But let's leave it with that. At this, Yan, you're too negative. You see an 80% that he leaves. I see a 20% that he stays. How about that?
Christian, listen, we've spoken enough on this topic, man. Let's move on. Let's move on. Yeah. NK asks, who will win the Europa League? Arsenal or Chelsea?
Did he ask who will win?
Yeah.
Chelsea.
Who? How do you know Arsenal actually make it?
Yeah, exactly. And can I just say, Arsenal have had our number for like 2 or 3 years now, and I fucking hate it, man. I went to the final 2 years ago, the FA Cup final, and we were just like, the guy I went with, we were like, we are going to fucking roll them. Like, we just won the league or whatever. And ever since that, they've had the fucking sign over us, man. And like, I would not, if in a final against Arsenal, they could lose 10 in a row, and I would fucking not feel confident in the final against Arsenal.
God damn you, Yan. You asked the question, and I'm like, fuck Arsenal. We're going to win this. We're going to mollywop them. And then you come and you bring the stats. You bring facts.
No. I'll tell you what, Christian. One thing. No, Aaron Ramsey, he's out for the season. He is like, that's huge. I mean, obviously they got Aubameyang and Lacazette, they're banging goals for fun, but it was always Ramsey against us. He'd either be assisting or scoring in the final. Or no Aaron Ramsey.
Bro, have you seen their manager? Have you seen their manager and his history?
Yeah, he's a vampire.
Come on, man. Listen, this guy knows how to win, man.
Yeah, bro. I don't know. I was watching the Chelsea game. I had the Arsenal game on my second screen, and I got so gassed when Valencia scored that goal. But they still had chances. When they take them back to their own yard, they've got an away goal. If they start strong, I don't know. Arsenal will probably get it because they are better. We got the harder draw with Frankfurt, man. But the harder team rather.
For sure.
I don't know, man. I feel like the thing is, if we guarantee top 4 before the final, and they don't have it, and the pressure's on them, and we're a little bit more chill, then I reckon we'll have the edge, and that would be brilliant. If we pip them to 4th and knock them out the Europa League, they'll hate us.
That'll be perfect. Sure. Jimmy, what's going on, man? Tell me, what do you think?
Jimmy's over there doing a book report.
No, I'm just letting you guys talk because you've got lots to say. So I thought, let you.
Ooh, that is harsh words, Jimmy.
Well, no, it's fine. I don't. It's a difficult question to answer. I mean, Arsenal. It's the same with Arsenal as with us. Either they turn up or they don't. That's the story of this season. Same for Chelsea. So
yeah.
Psychologically, they've got the edge, undoubtedly. But it's a one-off game, so anything can happen.
Definitely.
Yeah, one-off game. Anything can happen.
Yeah. Sorry, I feel like get your guys' thoughts as well. The partnership of Christensen and Louise. Sadiq made a good point about in the first half, Christensen made that tackle. He's a little bit, I think he just gets a little bit nervous, but he is a very capable defender. He made a good tackle in the second half, and he made some good passes. He's very good at making good passes, and he can maraud forwards. He can be that like Louise, but when Louise runs forward with the ball, sometimes you shit yourself. But for some reason, when Christensen does it, I feel a little bit more calm. I think that's maybe because he hasn't got previous as Louise, but Louise had 2 shots on target as well. 2 shots on target. Oh, because he had that header, didn't he? That was a great, header, but down the keeper.
Placed that anywhere and it would have gone in. He just
met it well though. But to be fair, he was turning, so it was like a glancing header. But yeah, I feel like Christensen was very good in that second half. Kante was very good. 1 possession back, all over every part of the field. 1-5 duels was pretty decent. He made a couple of tackles.
Yeah,
Kante's on the cusp of becoming he's a world-class box-to-box DM. I'm not going to say just DM because he was like
careful, Yan. You're talking about my boy.
I'm saying he's on the cusp of becoming fucking wicked. Pedro in this game, I think he was really good. He made 3 key passes, the same amount of Loftus-Cheek. Everyone else made 1, but he also created the big chance. Pedro played really well. You know what, man? Chelsea, right? Chelsea are on the cusp of just being a really good team. And that would have been the difference. And it sounds really like fucking vague, but I was watching some of these passages of play today, like you guys, when we were just thinking, oh, we should score from this. And I was thinking, you know what? This is wicked. Like, this looks really good. And that will get lost because it's a 1-1 draw. And, we didn't. But if you take some of this play in isolation, it was really good. If there was a couple of goals at the end of that, you'd be like, Chelsea are right up there with whatever team that look really great. There's some really good like passages of play in that. And I feel like I'm not sorry in, I'm not sorry out. I'm very much a measured dude on the fence that looks at everything objectively. But I'm looking at this objectively. I'm looking at how we played in that game, and I feel like we're a couple of players off from putting on like a Galactico level performance. And I mean that, man. There's some really good shit there that will just get lost by Chelsea fans viewing that because even though it was an alright result, it wasn't the best. There's a couple of quality upgrades and a couple of players there from that being 3-1. Do you know what I mean? Away in European competition. And I really hope we get those players. I really hope it's Jovic, actually.
Yeah.
That's relative, isn't it? I mean, football's a result-based sport. It's great that we played well, and I agree with you. I was clamoring for Sarri so that we could play more beautifully or more beautiful football. I want that as well, but we're just too wasteful. You can talk about however you want. It's still the same. We just drew one. We only scored 1 goal. We were far too wasteful. I didn't think Pedro was that good, as you're saying, because statistically that's nice and all that, and he scored the goal. But the amount of times he just did those brain dead flicks around the corner when no one was, just to be this beautiful Barcelona. We're not Barcelona from 2009 or 2000. And I think we should the players try to be too
cute.
No, sorry?
Too
cute.
Yep.
Too cute for their own liking. And the thing is, if they would keep things simple, then I think it would be more efficient, far more efficient, and it would have kept us out of a lot more trouble. Today as well, there was some passage I thought just simple pass and we can get in front of goal. No, keep onto the ball a bit longer and trick there.
Yeah. Like Jimmy.
Then I can understand why then there are those your dads saying, we just won hard Brexit football. I don't want that, but we're making things too hard for ourselves on so many occasions, and the same was the case today. And that's why I think, even though Pedro's been great and he still has great games in him, and he scored the important goal today, he's holding onto the ball too long. That's
at the end of the game.
That's toxic to this system. And the same with William. Eden Hazard is the sole person who can do that because he can just,
Oh, I think you're being harsh on saying toxic to the system. The guy scored the goal.
But I agree with it. I agree with Jimmy. That's one of the biggest criticisms I have of Pedro. Towards the end of the game, I was screaming, pass the ball, because he was running around with he's getting guarded by 3 guys. It was like what, the 70th, 80th, like almost 80th minute or something. He's got the ball, he's looking, he's running, he's looking around. Wasn't Conte right there for him to pass the ball? Jorginho right there? Just pass the fucking ball and stop with your shit.
I will concede the fact of, I know what you mean, being too cute on the ball when it gets to that point, what Jimmy was saying, a simple through ball, attack the space in the final third. When they have got their back to goal or they're being players coming in, just just attack the space. Get the runners, whether it's Loftus-Cheek, just bouncing off Giroud, Loftus-Cheek, attack the space, forward passes. I know what you mean. Sadiq, I've got to bow out, man, because my...
we're going to end it here, guys. We're going to end it here. Sorry it took so long.
Can I do a quick plug before my
everyone plug.
Right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the Worldwide Chelsea stream here. If you want to catch me in some more football stats, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jan the Stat Man. It's not just Chelsea, but there's a lot of Chelsea. Peace.
Thank you.
Shall I go next then? Yeah, so my name's Jimmy, as already you will have heard. Please do follow me on Twitter under Jimmy Funnel CFC. I write articles for We Ain't Got the History and the Chelsea Echo. Always glad to hear some criticism, debate. Be on these, no, it's true, you can laugh.
It's criticism.
No, offering me criticism, like a certain guy today.
Let's go.
So that's fine, and I would really like to hear all your opinions, and of course follow Worldwide Chelsea, and do him a favor. He loves favors, mate. Do him favors all day.
Thank you. You lot are sending shots, Christian, man. Talk to me.
All right, I have a podcast. My podcast, All American Chelsea, Twitter handle All American CFC. I've had the boy Yannick on. I've had my boy Jimmy on, and then tomorrow I'm doing a post-match review for this game with some dude named Sadiq from some Twitter handle named Worldwide Chels.
Yeah.
I've heard a hot rumor that the dude likes chicken, so I don't know. We'll see.
Jimmy and his chicken as well, man.
Jimmy loves chicken. Yeah, so
mate, change your handle to Jimmy Loves Chicken.
Jimmy loves chicken. Jimmy, as a matter of fact, change everything about next article you write, written by Jimmy loving chicken.
Yeah, but wait, what happens with the hounds on Game of Thrones? Then we can talk about that,
Oh, I love
it. Mate. There's no pro spoilers to the reviewers, man.
No spoilers, but if you get the point with the chicken and...
Oh, yeah, he fucking chows down chicken.
Yeah. Loves chicken. Yo, I'm surrounded by chicken men.
Me, man. I'm a fucking vegan, so I'll drop that bomb at the end.
See the back of everyone here. Make sure you follow everyone on this channel, and if you enjoy the stream, please smash the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. And there's a nice comment for Jan towards the end of the stream. Jan, your Twitter is the best footy channel for state outside of.
Oh, big up! Thank you very much. That's very kind.
Cool. So guys, thank you, man. Smash the like button, man. I'm out.
Yep.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in, man.